ZZZ just released one of their most anticipated characters, Hoshimi Miyabi. Now, I heard she was pretty popular during the beta, but I haven't seen any of her animations yet. So, as a professional animator, when ZZZ reached out and asked me to review her animations, I said yes. But let's see if she holds up to the hype. I'm going to be grading her on animation, but we're going to split it up into 3 categories: posing, choreography, and effects. Let's jump into it.
You are suspected of endangering public safety.
Okay.
You'll be arrested immediately.
Wait, she got arrested?
Miss Hoshimi Miyabi, we have something very important to tell you.
Whoa. The destabilized cameras, like, this is a very interesting thing. See how much the camera is tilting? It's not adhering to gravity. It's not keeping its roll axis stable. This is very much a symptom of trying to get the viewer to feel disoriented. And it works. It feels very tense. It feels very chaotic. It feels like you don't know what's going on. And it makes the ground feel like it's uneven. Pretty cool. What little girl? Oh, jeez. Oh, that's a cool shot.
Do you really believe that the inheritance traditions are right? My blade is ready.
Woo! Wait, whoa. We're looking at gameplay already? Yo. That looks too cool. I gotta look at it in context. I don't want to look at it now. Oh my god. I wasn't supposed to see gameplay yet. My eyes have been tainted. It's finally time, guys. Combat animation. Okay, so you're gonna start with that. I see. Oh, this is so good. Oh, she lets go so early, but like it's in a good way. Yeah, so there's like just enough momentum for it to like pick up on its own and then just like spin. Also, I really like that it's spinning on the same axis. Good attention to detail. Her hair feels so good.
Blade is ready. Hoshimi Miyabi, here to support.
Yo!
An opening.
Oh my god, her hair is so pretty, dude.
Hit its weak point.
God, this would be so satisfying to play. Holy shit.
Swift and decisive.
Dude, what? This entire combo is just anticipation. Where's the payoff? Oh, Yanagi's here. Let's go, girl.
Leave it to me.
Woo! Oh, come on.
Cut through chaos.
Oh, okay. We got a little bit of payoff at the end. Oh, that's cool. They did a little blink at the end. Oh, what? That's a cool detail. Immediately, she opens her eyes as soon as the sound comes up. It's such a great accentuator for the movement that just happened. Basically, like a punctuation mark at the end of her animation. Like, it feels so good. Like, look at that, dude. That feels so alive. It's so bouncy. Okay, pretty cool, pretty cool. I do want to watch this because it seems like I got more gameplay from this thing. So we're going to watch this thing.
That the inheritance traditions are right.
The Oni COVID, bro.
Blade is ready.
Dude, this is like, oh, man. Wait, why were these guys dancing? Just, oh, it's so funny. That's obviously the hit animation, right? Anyway, this is cool. I actually like this one better than the other video just because I can see it more clearly. Dude, check this out. Look at the weight behind the sword here. She swings the sword and she's not actually landing her footstep until the very end, which shows that it's kind of heavy. If she stepped forward and then slashed down, it would feel like a lighter sword. Probably because she's so short. Oh, damn. It's actually true though. Yo, check this out. Okay, we're gonna talk about the weight of this blade. Because right here, look at this. This is a really strong slash, but right here, her vertical slash, because she steps forward so early, it implies that the slash itself or the sword itself is very heavy. She basically needs to shift her weight with the sword in order to balance it. Now, if it was a lighter sword, she'd be able to step forward and then swing the sword, but because it's a heavy sword, she's not able to do that. That's a really cool attention to detail. I think regardless if the sword is actually heavy or not, they're clearly giving it more weight and it feels really good. Or they reuse the animation, that'd be so funny. I highly doubt they reused any animation for Miyabi. I think they put every piece of budget into her character, in my opinion. Okay, what is happening here? This is a little hard to decipher. Okay, so she slashes again. Did she just turn into like water? I can't see her anymore. Where'd she go? I think she's supposed to disappear though. I see. Okay, cool. So we're just supposed to see the slashes. That's fair. This is a classic samurai draw pose. Executed really well, honestly. This is cool. The body turn is done well. The elbow is done really well. Both elbows are really good silhouettes. All limbs visible. Very good. This is a cool pose. Oh, dude, look at this pose, bro. Oh my God. Again, really, really good pose. This is what I've been personally calling the Rengoku pose in our shots. We've had a couple characters do this, like Raiden in Progenitor episode 2. This is how typically you would draw a samurai sword or a katana, with a lot of gusto. Dude, I love this right here. The vertical sheath is so cool. She cheats the sheath a lot. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Let me take a look at this actually. Does she cheat it here as well? Wait a minute. That's not how sheaths work. Oh, that's great. Why do people do this though? It's actually an interesting question. Obviously, in this particular case, unlike the back sheath, technically sheathing a sword is possible, right? Like we know this because this is like a normal sheath with a normal sword. So what reason do we have to cheat in this particular case? Really, at the end of the day, it's to preserve momentum and also to preserve the cool pose. Like in order for this to actually make sense, she would have to stop the momentum and insert the sword directly into the sheath from a very early stage without stopping the momentum, which is very different, right? And her arm is too short, that's for sure. But ultimately what they want instead is to focus on the moment after she already gets the sword in there. Like this is a much cooler pose. Like this is the pose that you want. Like that's a cool pose, right? The pose I drew earlier, not a cool pose. So instead of that, they just cheat it. And honestly, cheating it feels better. It makes more sense. There's nothing wrong with it. Dude, I want to talk about this ultimate animation because this is cute. Her ultimate is just, I'm going to spin perfectly, which I want to commend because first of all, what have I talked about spinning? Stationary axis. Really, really strong axis of rotation. Perfectly straight, does not wobble, does not wibble. Really, really good. Love that. It's really not that hard, but it's like, it goes a long way. This pose right here, just look at the fingers, dude. Notice how the thumb is making contact here? That is definitely like what you start with usually. It's usually the thumb. Get a little bit of pressure on the thumb there so you can know where approximately it is, and then you can get the rest of the fingers curled around afterwards. So that's really, really cool attention to detail. Impact frames, we love those. Look at that custom drawn impact frame with the line art. Look at this custom drawn frame that's gonna get inverted. Look at that, it's inverted. And then she goes to whatever the hell this is, which is really cool. God, that's cool. Every single time I see her, her sword is sheathing. I don't see her actually cutting. I want to frame through and see if I can actually see her cut. She's so fast. Oh, there's a cut. We actually see the sword out for a little bit and then it's sheathed again. It's crazy. Like the effects are just gorgeous, dude, as well. So what grade do I give her? Posing. She has really strong posing. Her balance is impeccable, which makes sense because that's very important for her character. They do cheat her poses a little bit for the sheathing animation, but that's the price to pay when you have a long sword on a short armed character. And I think it's cool. For posing, I give her an S. Next is choreography. Now, she is very satisfying to watch and probably to play as well, but a lot of her choreography is actually based on implied movement between her sheathing poses, which means there isn't actually a lot of movement to review. While I agree this makes the most sense for her character, it is difficult to rank her higher than a character with complex weight and creative movement. But it is well executed katana wielding stuff, so I give it an A-. Effects, on the other hand, really carry her animations. They're beautifully crafted slashes that imply all the attacks, but at the end of the day, they are just slashes. They are relatively simple. So for that, I give it a solid A, which brings the overall score for Hoshimi Miyabi's combat animations to an A. Now, she might be fun to watch, but how does she feel to play? Well, you can find out yourself and check out Miyabi in the latest Zenless Zone Zero update. But if you're curious about what I think about other ZZZ Ultimates and combat animations, you can check out this previous video I made where I rank all of them up to Jane Doe.